to introduce Congressman Byron Donalds.
No, where yet? Hold on, stay there. Stay there.
Okay,
Stay right there. You stand here. Ladies and gentlemen, the conservative movement in America is alive and well. And it is in part alive and well because of the tireless effort of Matt and Mercedes Slack.
All right.
So give them a round of applause.
That's awesome. Would you like to read now?
Yeah, you gotta go now. I gotta talk to the people. CPAC, how's everything going? You know, I gotta tell you, I've given a lot of speeches, but I've never given the opening speech. So, you know, there's a lot of pressure up here. But something tells me you're gonna help me get through this. Is that right? You gonna help me? All right. Well, I think the Schlaps brought up a lot of key points about all the things that are ailing us around the globe. But the thing that's hurting us more than anything is we are divided here at home. We're divided as Americans. We're definitely divided within political parties and political movements. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the House of Representatives. We're divided there too. But the thing that cures division is leadership. It is not governance. It's not going along to get along. It's not saying nice things. It is leadership that actually helps secure those divides. And the time has come in America again for us to reassert ourselves and bring American leadership back to the forefront of our country. And we talk so much about foreign policy these days, and for good reason, because Joe Biden has been a disaster as president of the United States. He's been terrible. But let's look at NATO for a moment. A lot's been made about NATO over the last couple of weeks. There was a time where America did have to carry all the freight for NATO because the countries in Europe were rebuilding themselves from World War II. And the spirit of the American people, we were there to do that. We were willing to do that. But now those other countries have to come along for the ride as well. You know, I equate it to some of your great sport teams. Everybody remembers the Chicago Bulls of the 80s. They had Michael Jordan. They didn't have much else. Michael Jordan dropped 63 points in the Boston Garden against the vaunted 86 Celtics. But that Chicago Bulls team lost that series against a better and deeper team. If the world is actually going to have security, then it can't just be America scoring all the points, grabbing all the rebounds, passing out all the assists, blocking all the shots. We need our allies in NATO to step up and do their part. Because see, the one thing we all know, whether it's been sports or whether it's business, when you have a great team working together with a common mission and a common goal, you can accomplish so much more than when you just have that one great salesperson who's just leading the way and dragging everybody else along. The success of Western democracy, the success of a Western way of life is predicated on all the nations who love freedom and pursue freedom for their people to do the heavy lifting together, not just relying on America to bear the burden alone. It was brought up by Matt about Israel. What happened on October 7th was a tragedy, not just for the people of Israel, but for the world. We were faced with a barbarism that we thought had mostly receded from the planet. And they faced it head on. We here in America, we stand with Israel. We don't equivocate to the radicals who might be in our midst here in America. We stand with them. For Joe Biden to decide that he's worried about his votes in Michigan more than the safety of our greatest ally in the region is terrible. It's part of the reason why our adversaries are on the move. So my view is clear. Israel should obliterate Hamas from the face of the earth. And this is not a statement. This has to be born in fact. On Capitol Hill, we need to go back and do the job of making sure Israel has everything they need to finish that job. Because you can't have somebody come in your home, cause damage, and you do nothing. All you do is invite more of the same. And if Israel is our friend, and I know, CPAC, Israel is our friend, we stand by them, we support them, we do
Good
not
morning,
stand in the
Randy
way
Rhodes.
of them, and
How are
we
you
want them
today?
to do everything they must do to secure themselves and to secure the people of Israel.
You're muted, by the way.
I'm okay. I'm just suffering from a bad case of the gout.
The Chinese are on
Okay,
the
I'm
move
sending
in
out
South
links
America.
this morning.
And while
Right
we're having
now,
these petty
we're listening to
squabbles
Byron Donaldson.
amongst
This was a
Republicans and
great speech.
Democrats,
CPAC
the
is going
Chinese
on as
have
we
one
speak.
mission, and that's to
And
put us in a
Yep.
box.
drop your comments,
So we have to
and we'll be
reassert
starting morning
our
coffee
dominance in
conversation
our own
momentarily.
hemisphere. No more should we allow communism and fascism to breed in our own hemisphere while we just
We got Big Bruce in the building. Good morning, Big Bruce.
with each other.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
Really just does not matter.
We're
in
sitting
the
back here
fight
listening to
and the
Byron
success of
Donaldson's
human
speech
beings
this
across
morning
the
at CPAC
There
24.
was a time where
He
we
is
actually
going,
focused on
I
our
believe,
hemisphere.
to be the new VP.
And I want to be clear on this. This is not a statement of isolationism versus being the world's police. It's not that. It's being sober. It's being a realist. It's understanding that America in a dominant position across the globe means the best thing for the people of the world who desire freedom and peace, who want to actually grow an economy, who want their children to be raised up. A globe where China is dominant is a globe that is to the
Y'all like,
detriment
share,
of
subscribe.
human freedom. And so we have to do the things that are prudent to make sure that we assert those freedoms in our own hemisphere. There's another statement I want to make about foreign policy. I'm not a forever war guy. Never have been. I'm not.
I like this guy. I think he'd make a very strong, very powerful
position
vice
is very,
president
very
for Trump.
Go,
I
kill
believe
the
so.
enemy, and come home.
What do you think about Byron Donaldson, Big Bruce?
I'm a kid of the 80s, so I like.
I mean, he's been all right. I mean, so far. I mean,
That's what I want. If you're going to secure America, you have to secure its borders. You have to. We have 7.3 million people who come
Good
into
morning,
this
Christina.
country illegally. 7.3 million, and Joe Biden wants to make it an even 10 million. That's insane. No country would ever tolerate this. And so my position to my colleagues on Capitol Hill is clear. You either secure the border or you get no money for the government.
Okay, okay.
Now, the press would say, oh my gosh, Congressman Donald, you're talking about the government being closed. Oh, are you concerned about that? To the people of the press, you got your answer from CPAC.
We're going to be talking
Tell these
AT&T
reporters when they
outages
ask
this
me
morning.
say, the federal government has one primary job. It is to secure this nation and to secure its people. That's its first job.
Was it a
before
cyber
anything
attack?
else.
All of a sudden, Joe Biden has executive order powers again. We'll be talking about that.
The states that ratified the Constitution of the United States would have never, ever ratified a constitution that would have allowed the federal government to allow an invasion into the United States. They never would have signed it. Those states would have kept their militias and they'd have said, I'll see you guys later. Maybe we can work some things out. But that document is nuts and there's no way I'm going to be a part of it. So we have to be very clear about this. Joe Biden has a decision to make. Decide, Mr. President. Do you want to close Mount Rushmore so the southern border can be open? Do you, Joe Biden, want to tell the last remaining of our World War II vets that they cannot see the World War II memorial on the National Mall so we can have military-age men from China and the Middle East come into our country illegally? Decide, Joe Biden, which country matters more to you, the border of the United States or the border of Ukraine?
Sounds like a VP speech to me. Well, sounds like a presidential speech.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
We'll have a couple of more people joining us
I
momentarily.
love when you chant, but you're messing up my time, CPAC. I love it.
He'll be ending this
I
briefly.
love you too. We have to be serious about this. Right now, what's going on?
What's up, Big
Detroit,
Bruce?
In Denver.
It's just funny, you know, like the people, man, in the background.
You have the NYPD officers, and by the
Oh,
way,
okay.
the NYPD officers, they're white, they're black, they're Hispanic, they're men and they're women, and they're being beaten in their own streets of their own city where they are charged to help protect the people of New York, and they're being beat up by people who shouldn't be in the country in the first place. What kind of insanity is this? And so for my colleagues on Capitol Hill who are concerned about, oh, well, Byron, we don't win government shutdowns. I say there's never been an issue facing this country that has united the American people more. And securing our border and securing our nation is not a conservative position. It is not a liberal position. It is not a white position or a black position. It is an American position. And that is what everybody in our country wants to see happen, and they want it to happen today. In our economy, we need leadership too. This nutty Green New Deal stuff, which by the way, isn't even that green. It's not even that green. When you go and read the studies, these solar panels are dirtier than natural gas. These wind turbines, there have been more men and women who have died from wind turbines than nuclear power. That is a fact. More people have died from maintaining wind turbines than they've died from nuclear power plants. But you gotta have leadership that's gonna tell the truth and set America on the track going forward. We shouldn't be chasing green technology just to chase green technology. We should be chasing the cheapest and most readily available form of energy so all of our people can be successful.
Talking a good talk so far.
You know, when they figured out how to do fracking, they tried to blame fracking and found out that they were liars about blaming fracking. When we started using natural gas, we realized that we cut America's emissions in half over a decade, and it still wasn't good enough for the radical left, because it'll never be good enough for the radical left. And so the only way you defeat them is that you got to have leadership who's willing to stand up to them at every point, and we have that leadership in Donald J. Trump.
Okay, so it's a VP speech. It is a VP speech.
But we have new things on the horizon. We have this great new technology called.
But I got Big Bruce in the building.
Some of you,
I got Randy the genealogist Rose in the building. If you want to tune into the rest of Byron Donaldson, tune in to CPAC. You can see him live in its entirety.
I don't want the Fed doing it.
But in the meantime, in between time,
but if people
you already know what we got to do.
their own free will,
We got to go ahead and let me see if I can do this.
or any other.
We got some more links coming out. I want to welcome Big Bruce to the studio. I want to welcome Randy Rose to the studio. Let me
Oh,
do this.
give a guy warnings there.
Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say, and deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we could throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time.
It's time for morning
Without
coffee.
even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, wherever you may be. It might be morning, it may be afternoon, it may be nighttime. But I got Big Bruce in the building, and I got Randy the genealogist Rose. We got some morning coffee conversation going on. Good morning, fellas. How you doing today? We'll start with Mr. Randy up top.
I've been lying myself, doing okay. You have to be a certain age. You have to watch what you eat and drink. Otherwise, you wind up with gout, and that's what I got. I want to tell you what, it hurts like a son of a you-know-what. So I'm in pain today.
Oh, man, you'll feel better after the show. And at the bottom, we got my Democratic brother from another brother. Big Bruce is in the building. What's up, Big Bruce?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Randy. What's up, bro?
Not too bad. What you doing? Are you behaving?
Yes, I'm behaving. Yes, sir.
Sound like he's your long lost son or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the checks in the mail there, son. I got behind a little bit, so I'll get those tuition money out for you soon, okay?
Okay.
Hey, if you see my man Big Bruce, he's not missing no meals. So, hey, he can wait on that check. He can wait on that check. You know how we do it on Morning Coffee. Y'all like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so we can get some instant notifications. Big Bruce, do you got phone service this morning, brother?
Yeah, I got phone service. Why?
Well, there was a major AT&T phone outage that occurred within the past 24 hours.
Oh, you got an AT&T phone, huh?
No, I ain't got an AT&T phone. Hey, is everything working for you good over there, Randy?
Oh, yeah, I have Comcast. I'm paying through the teeth for it, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, for those of you out there, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and if you haven't heard, let's let them say
Major cellular outages being reported nationwide. The tracking website downdetector.com is reporting more than 32,000 outages for AT&T customers. We're also hearing reports of customers with AT&T are struggling to call 911, and that is a problem.
That's not good. All right, more than 800 outages also reported for Verizon and T-Mobile users. It's unclear what caused this outage. There has been no word yet from any of these major cellular networks. Do you have a problem this morning, Pete?
I didn't
By the way,
notice
welcome.
Great to be here. I did not notice it, but a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And it's coast to coast. It's not the kind of thing that was just happening here in New York. Apparently, reports are it's all the way to L.A., maybe international, too.
I see L.A., Dallas, Atlanta, San Diego, San Antonio, Chicago, San Francisco, and Honolulu. So what about Surfside Beach in South Carolina? Lawrence, poll the audience. Ask for the hands if anybody's having a cell phone problem.
Yeah, let's ask the folks here. Okay, who's having cell phone
Look at
issues
South
here
Carolina,
today?
o'clock in the
Who
morning.
has
Good
AT&T?
Lord.
Raise your hand. AT&T, cell phone issue. What about Verizon?
Look at
Who's
all
having
those people.
yeah.
Look at those people out there just
So
Yeah.
pretty much
representing
everyone,
America,
guys,
6 in the
is
morning.
having the same issues.
Lawrence-
Thank God for the Wi-Fi network, because
Yeah,
that's what we're using.
Yeah, I was going to say,
You know, half
because
them
it's the
people
data.
shouldn't even be up that early.
Lexi, our assistant, she came in this morning and
Where should they
she
be at?
said, my data's not working, but when I get to Fox and I turn it on Wi-Fi, my phone works now.
That's exactly right. They can I think they can make emergency phone calls.
I don't
Well,
got
that was
AT&T,
this
so-
morning. That was this morning. But I don't know, man. I put a post up saying, well, let me give shout outs for the lovely people that joined us for some morning coffee. Zach and Levy Sunquist, good morning. Michelle Henry Burgess, good morning. Michael McCarthy, good morning. Kim Shemansky, good morning. Christina, good morning. Thank y'all for joining me, Randy, the genealogist, Rose, and Big Bruce for a morning cup of coffee, and we're on our first. But we're talking about the outage that happened with AT&T. I don't know what direction to go because I'm not really familiar, but I came across a gentleman who could possibly explain what happened. Now, I don't take it as actual and factual, but it's the closest thing I've come to what's been going on so far. So let's just take a peep at it and see what he has to say, and then we'll break it down like we always do.
I'm AI Joe, here with the latest cybersecurity news. The largest mobile services provider in the US, AT&T, reached out to customers over a data breach affecting around 9 million users. According to the company, an unauthorized person breached a vendor's system and gained access to customer proprietary network information, also known as CPNI. Although the notification letter, first shared by databreach.com, didn't specify what data was leaked, CPNI usually includes user information such as first name and services users purchased from telecoms, including the number of lines on an account and wireless plans. The telecom provider assured customers that no sensitive personal information, such as social security number or credit card information, was accessed, and that the vulnerability was fixed. However, the company contacted law enforcement agencies, as well as the Federal Communications Commission. AT&T has suffered a data breach before. In 2015, they agreed to pay a $25 million fine for an insider breach. In April 2022, a threat actor was selling 70 million user records, allegedly belonging to the company. However, AT&T denied this claim. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love these two videos here.
All right, so y'all go ahead and follow him, see what else he has to say on it. This is my thing, and then I'm going to kick it off to Big Bruce. If they can get a little information, can't they get the rest of your information? So why the hell should we feel secure with the second part of their statement when they got the nerve to say, well, they can't get a hold of your credit card and they can't get a hold of your social security number? If they gain a little bit of access, and this is my opinion, they got the creativity or the intellect to gain the rest of your information. That's just a breakthrough point. They got to start somewhere. What do you think, Big Bruce?
I mean, I'm sure they could. I mean, it happens all the time. That's the thing, you know. Personal information can get out there just as quick as somebody like this getting into that thing. So, I mean, you either gonna have to trust it. For example, a couple months ago, my credit card, somebody had purchased $49.95, and then a $4.95 charge too. And so when I called them and asked them about it, they gave me this number to this place. They said it was some videos, and I told them that I didn't authorize this. You know, and I want my money back, and you know, ended up getting it back like 3 days later. But you know, again, If they can just simply somebody just think that that had my name just simply just went and charged, they did it. Okay, they did it. They did it not once, they did it twice. They can do it to you, they can do it to Randy, and they can do it to the people in the chat.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. Jen, good morning. If you're not busy, I sent you a link this morning. You know you are more than welcome to join us, testosterone-filled men this morning, and bring some of your intellect. What do you think about the situation, Mr. Genealogist?
Well, it's kind of funny and strange in a way. I got 2 letters in the mail yesterday. One from our attorney that we used a while back on a medical lawsuit that my wife was involved with. I can't talk about it for another 10 years, but so we had this lawsuit, and it's been a few years since the settlement and so forth. But we get this letter in the mail from the law office, all nice and legalese, essentially saying that we're sorry to inform you that our data banks were broken into, and information on all our clients was stolen, and we regret to inform you that your name, your social security number, your address, and blah 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 was all part of the information theft. But don't worry, we'll give you 12 months of free credit watch. So in case anything happens, we're there protecting you. And then in a different envelope, it was another legal outfit separate from our personal one, not in connection with the lawsuit that we had, but a totally different break in their data banks, and millions of their stuff was stolen, of which my wife's and my name and social security was also stolen. So first off, I got news for anyone who wants to try to use ours. If you're going to go and try and use ours, you ain't gonna get nothing. But
you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but now to see that you have T-Mobile and AT&T both with these hacks, it makes you wonder. And it's like you said, Jerry, that these people just didn't go in there just for giggles and laughs. They went there and they grabbed this information, and they have it now on their own computers, and they plan on doing something with it. They are. They're not going to take the risk of 20, 30 years in federal prison for hacking without trying to at least gain some monetary advantage out of it before they get caught, So I think they're working for someone. I think it's a government agency. I think they're trying to grab information. It wouldn't be too hard to find out from the information they took, who are gun owners. I mean, because now they have this information, so now they can expound on that to find out where we shop, what we bought, what we use our money for, what we use our charge cards for. So now they get this whole spreadsheet going of all the gun owners, all the people buying bullets, all the people buying MRI stuff, and who's building a superstructure underneath their house or out in the field somewhere. It boggles the mind the amount of information you can get from your social security number.
You're right. You're totally right. But to take it down another avenue, coming at you, Big Bruce, to take it down another avenue off of what the other gentleman was talking about. So much of our intellectual electronics that we use is from other countries, such as China, such as India, such as, I don't know, I can't name them, I'll be honest with you. But you don't know what I'm talking about. Suppose they can just shut it down at any time. I mean, you're talking about mass communication difficulties. You can't get a hold of your loved ones, when things are going down in your neck of the woods. it's a way of causing mass hysteria. Can you imagine the American citizen at one time as a whole being shut down 24 hours without their phone? And this is just on a technical glitch. They would freak out. So imagine it on a level to where someone intentionally shuts down. Okay, so it ain't the power grid. Maybe it's the AT&T, it's the communication source. We have over 10 million people here. Suppose the alarm is sounded and they decide to go ballistic at one time, and then our communications all go down at the same time. So that's why you get that satellite radio, people, what they've been telling me about. And I just, bing, it just went off in my head. So I will be going to go and purchase one at the local hunting store as soon as my son gets off, because he knows more about that than I do. What do you think about it, Big Bruce? Could it be a attack from outside to coordinate a shutdown in the future of our mass communications?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, that's where the majority of that stuff comes from. Or it's somebody inside. Maybe somebody inside got fired or something. Or it's somebody that just is pissed off at AT&T, and they're willing to sacrifice their life to basically go to prison. Because you'll go to prison for a long time. Believe that. All right, it ain't. But let me explain something. Okay, if anybody's ever been out of the U.S. and in different countries, there's countries that shut the power off, and they have the switch. They can do that. This situation here, something happened. Again, either you can trust, and now I'm not saying in Randy's situation, like he may not be trusting them because of what happened, and he has every right to feel that way, and I'd feel probably the same way. But you either gonna have to trust that somebody's gonna do something and find out, and but are they gonna tell us? That's the thing. If it's if it's people working like inside or something that just are pissed off at AT&T or something, like, or it's somebody that's that just doesn't like AT&T outside, but
That's right.
Again, like, it's scary. Obviously, this stuff could happen, but again, it's the price that you pay when you get a cell phone or you buy stuff that's that you can get on the internet with.
Right.
You just got to keep it doesn't matter. You just got to keep yourself safe, and you don't say certain things. You don't know people. You don't answer questions that's personal. You say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not answering your question. Take care. See you later. And that's what you do. I mean, there's so many things popping up. I had stuff pop up all over my internet. Like it's like it took me a couple years just to figure out like shit that I almost put myself in one time clicking on something. I had a friend of mine click onto something, and people kept telling him, don't do it, don't click, and he ended up clicking into something, and they got his personal information, and he was ripped off. So, and they got everything about him,
I
mean, it could be anything, man. It's speculation, as it is right now, but
that's right. Everything is speculation. Will we ever know? Randy, genealogist Rose, before we let you end it, because you started it. People, Patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, thank you for tuning in to Morning Coffee in the Patriots Lab. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring that bell so you can get those instant notifications. Randy, will we ever know the truth? Will we ever know? Could this be an outside plot, or do you think it's inside job?
Had this been a Trump administration or a Reagan administration or someone along the lines of that fortitude and honesty we would know that we would know the truth as to what happened, whether it was a squirrel running across a power line and getting fried, or some kid in his mommy's house, playing with his computer, and he's got his tinfoil hat on and he's hacking computers, or if we have a government agency who was just playing the field, seeing what havoc they can cause and how much they can take down and how quickly our nation bounces back from an outage. You and that from this administration, you won't know the truth unless you get someone like a Tucker or someone like that, a Bongino, who has the ability to contact their resources and actually get the truth. To be honest, if we don't see any type of financial demands today or next week or so, asking for the information to be returned to them, I'm going to say this with a outside government agency taking down a communications grid to first off see if they can do it. Second off, see how large of a demographics across our nation they can cause havoc with, and then obviously to see how quickly we rebound, because it's a military strategy. That
Right.
just take out the communications and then see
Right.
how fast they bounce back so we can attack.
Okay. Well, hey, that was a great first round. If anybody needs to get a second cup of coffee, I know I do. But before I do that, we're gonna go ahead and get into the next video, and then it's crazy how all of a sudden it's like, because I remember Joe Biden saying he couldn't do shit through executive order when it had to do with the border or any of that stuff. But it seems that Mr. Biden, well, first we're gonna go back and see what he did initially to screw everything up.
A few executive orders to strengthen immigration system, building on the executive actions I took on day one to protect dreamers and the Muslim ban and to better manage our borders. And that's what these three different executive orders are about. And I want to make it clear, there's a lot of talk with good reason about the number of executive orders that I've signed. I'm not making new law. I'm eliminating bad policy. What I'm doing is taking on the issues that 99% of them that the last president of the United States issued executive orders I thought were very counterproductive to our security, counterproductive to who we are as a country, particularly in the area of immigration. This is about how America is safer, stronger, more prosperous when we have a fair, orderly, and humane legal immigration system. And with the first action today, we're going to work to undo the moral and national shame of the previous administration that literally, not figuratively, ripped children from the arms of their families, their mothers and fathers at the border, and with no plan, none whatsoever, to reunify the children who are still in custody and their parents. The second action addresses the root causes of our migration to our southern border. And the third action, the third order I'm going to be signing, orders a full review of the previous administration's harmful and counterproductive immigration policies, basically across the board. And so with that, I'm going to sign the first order, which is a reestablishment of the interagency task force and the reunification of families. Remove the stain on the reputation for what the separations cause. That is the first order. The second order I'm signing is creating a comprehensive regional framework to address the causes of migration and to manage migration throughout the North and Central America and to provide a safe and orderly processing of asylum seekers at the United States border. And the third order I'm signing is restoring the faith in our legal immigration system and strengthening immigration and inclusion efforts for new Americans.
Yeah, when this is over, I want to say something.
My
Oh, I
grandfather
hope
said,
so.
the grace of God and the goodwill of the neighbors will reunite these children and reestablish our reputation as being.
Get your butt down to the border, and you should have done it yourself. You know, why are you doing all that crazy stuff? Why do you want these people? Okay, go ahead.
So everything that he stated, the reasons he gave for signing the executive orders, which totally, one, reversed all of the immigration laws that Trump had put in place. Title 42, remain in Mexico, the border wall, returning them back home. He considered them all to be inhumane. So he basically, at that point, allowed the floodgates of over 10 million people to come over because he thought it was inhumane. And I'm going to give the floor to you, Big Bruce, here in a second. But if it was so inhumane and he wasn't just doing it to hurt the country and hurt Trump, then why the hell would you be doing this?
To another high-stakes fight, this one over immigration at our southern border. Sources confirmed to CBS News that President Biden is considering using sweeping executive authority to tackle the crisis there. Republicans in Congress, you'll recall, blocked a compromise immigration deal earlier this month. Now there might be movement from the White House. Nancy Cordes has the details of this potential plan. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning, Tony. What the White House is floating here would be a return to the Trump border policy in one very significant respect. It would deter migrants from coming to the U.S. by restricting access to the overloaded asylum program.
Okay. We ain't even got to let her go into her 2-minute spill. Really? So all of a sudden, you just want to overnight become immoral. Because you got to remember, everything that you overturn because they were immoral. But we already knew you was immoral. Go ahead, Big Bruce.
Okay, well, if this was a Joe Biden when he was younger, all right, I don't think people really, understand. He was more of Republican policy back in the day. Who knows what the hell's today? Whatever. I don't know. I don't care. I don't trust any of them. Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, you wanna have a border thing, but you allowed people to just come through. All right, and when in years past, if they got caught coming over here, they would get arrested. When they got caught, they'd get arrested and then they would get sent back. It just, I guess what bothers me is like, I don't have a problem with like the Dreamers. All right, their parents chose to come over here illegally and take their kids with them. All right, so I ain't gonna be blaming any children that are Spanish or nothing. But let's be real. We need to have something. It needs to be done. I'm tired of this talking crap that they keep doing, and this goes for both sides. Okay, and I'm gonna say this, and people probably ain't gonna like it, but the fact is, all right, they had a Trump order that was in place, and both parties decided to not pass that damn thing, all right, and to secure the border. Okay, so I don't want to hear people crying to me and saying, "Oh, you're a Democrat." I don't want to hear that. They had something in place, and people chose to block that. Okay, rather you agree with me or you don't, I don't care. The fact is, they had a plan. All right, now he has no choice now but to do this because he screwed up on the first day by overturning the ones that he just said. Okay, this is why I get tired of these people, because they don't do nothing for us. All they do is sit there and they're like a damn puppet and talk. That's it. They don't do much work.
Big Bruce, can you agree with me in stating that he's doing this in hopes that people like yourself who and then when I say like yourself, I'm only pertaining to a Democrat,
right,
turn a blind eye to everything else that he's already done, and
that's yeah. Yes, I can agree. Okay, but can we all agree that he should have never overturned the damn thing? Why?
Yeah, that is a definite. And we got, and you're right to the extent that we got to stop saying him because it's actually them. What's up, Randy?
You know what? I agree with a lot of stuff that you say. All right, I agree with Randy on a lot of stuff you say too. And you'll never hear me ever, even if I disagree with you, you will never ever hear me act like a total idiot like that we see outside in the public. You will never hear Bruce ever talk. Hey, if I disagree, fine. I'm not going to say to my two brothers like that they're trash because they believe that. Hey, listen, they have their reasons why they believe what they believe. Period. And this is why we're all different. But we can all, obviously, we can come together and agree to disagree. But for some reason, these people up in Washington, all they want to do is fight and blame. So I think it's time to get some new people in. I think it's time that we have people that are going to actually do stuff when they tell us stuff and not sit here and give us the puppet string.
I hear you. Good morning. Go ahead, Randy.
I think what took place is that, well, we all knew that after the election was stolen, that the Democrats, the liberals, the socialists, the communists, whatever party terminology you might use for these people, we all knew that they're going to overturn everything that Trump did that made this country, for the 4 years he was president, a fantastic country, a wealthy country, a country where people want to come to legally. And one of the first things we knew they were going to do was to remove the restrictions on the people crossing the border. But what they didn't realize is how many people were going to find their way across our border, whether with or without help. Obviously, a lot of them are sacrificing their lives. A lot of them were selling their lives, their bodies to the cartel to get across. But I don't think they realized that within almost 4 years, nearly 10 million, if not more, have crossed the border. The cities who flouted they wanted to be sanctuary cities because, we're going to be the better person. We're going to allow these illegals in. We're going to open our arms to them and embrace them with our warmth, our wealth, and our food and our clothing. All of a sudden makes the United States a happy place to be. Not realizing that the Republicans and the Texas governor, you got to give him kudos. He started it by rebusing all these illegals into the sanctuary cities to a point to where now they are overwhelmed. And now they realize the errors of their way. And now they're trying to find a way to backpedal and to reverse, to some degree, their stupidity allowing all these illegals into our country. But to be honest with you, I think the damage is done. I think there are enough military-aged men and women who are just waiting for their marching orders to attack our nation.
Well, I don't believe you're far off. I just I don't know. It's a strange situation. Strange situation. Well, to go ahead and wind this up on our last segment, I think this lady here that I'm about to show has finally. I love when people make that first stance and when things are going wrong, and I just hope it picks up steam and it lets criminals know you may be able to run, but you damn sure can't hide. And I don't know how this is going to go down, but I'll ask the questions to you guys that I have after we go ahead and watch this lady do what she does.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to start off by just reiterating what you've heard with the just impressive cooperation between the variety of law enforcement agencies across this valley. We live in a very large, geographically large county, and we have many dozens of police agencies, and the fact that it was seamless between Phoenix and Scottsdale and Surprise, DPS's efforts as well, is incredibly impressive to capture somebody who has committed such dangerous and violent offenses. I do have to say that people are presumed innocent until proven guilty. But that said, we also got involved at an early stage. We were contacted by the police so that we were able to send our attorney to the initial appearance court where a bond was set, and he is being held without bond, meaning there is no amount of money that he can post to get out of custody at this point. We will be reviewing charges later today and issuing charges at a timely fashion. I just want to say that I know there's been discussion about New York wanting to extradite this individual, and I'm sure that this is not aimed at the New York Police Department at all. I know they did a hard job and they did a good job, but we will not be agreeing to extradition. I've instructed my extradition attorneys not to agree to that. We're going to keep him here. These are mandatory prison sentences. And having observed the treatment of violent criminals in the New York area by the Manhattan DA there, Alvin Bragg, I think it's safer to keep him here and keep him in custody so that he cannot be out doing this to individuals either in our state or county or anywhere in the United States.
Boom. So that's what I'm talking about. Here you have New York fighting to get this murderer back. Why are you fighting? Why you fighting to extradite him back? Let him go to court and do his time. Now I've heard of suspects, because he's innocent until proven guilty. I've heard of suspects trying to get extradited, but damn, this is literally the first time I heard the state trying to go and extradite somebody. First, they cost money. So if Arizona's willing to pay and spend their money to convict and lock this murderer up, why are you trying to interfere? You got enough problems. Save your money and put that to the migrant fund. What say you, Big Bruce? Then we're going to Randy Rose. We'll come back to Big Bruce.
There must be some reason why the New York DA's office wants that guy back in their grasp, and I think it's one. I agree with the lady who was just talking. If he goes back to New York, he's going to get released. They have a history of releasing criminals of various crimes, from disturbing the peace to burning down their city. And it's very possible that there is something else going on that he might have information to that could reflect poorly on New York. But I give that lady kudos. I hope she sticks to her guns. I hope there's no one above her who can overrule her to send this guy back to New York. I'm sorry. Yeah, normally, as I understand the law, when you have a criminal who does crimes across multiple states, normally the state that had the most horrendous crime attributed to it gets the custody of the criminal. They get charged there, and then the guy goes to the other state to get charged, and eventually winds up in prison, however many times it takes. But I agree with her that this guy goes back to New York, he's going to be released on some pity-ass bond, if any at all. Look at that, a little off subject, but look at that illegal who raped those two 14-year-old girls. The guy got a 6-month suspended prison sentence. The guy got off scot-free, and he raped two girls.
Look at the ones that beat up the police. Look at the ones that beat up their own.
Yeah.
Let that have been me. What do you say? Are you back in action, Big Bruce?
Yeah. So there's a judge on YouTube that's down in San Antonio, and I love how she is, because see, listen, they put these sentences together, and I'm not sure what the hell New York's doing, except letting people basically run free. Now, you got to understand something, Randy. All right, if somebody doesn't have a long history of a record, okay, and if they do, the judge has to decide, like, how long was the last time the person has last time you got in trouble. If it's like most recently, let's say this judge down in San Antonio, no, she's not gonna let somebody go on that. But when it comes to sentencing, and it comes to, you have 10 years or you have 15 or even 20, because I've seen it, where they have 20 years. Basically, it says, I will be good for 20 years. I will not commit any crimes. I will follow all laws. I will follow my probation. Obviously, we know how that works out majority of the time. These idiots will end up getting out. If they have a drug problem or alcohol problem, they're going to be back on the street violating within minutes or doing crime. So I think it's awful, because what I seen, I always give him, and I said this last time I was on here, I gave Alvin Bragg a chance, and I do not respect that guy anymore, and I'm not giving you a chance, because you allowed 4 criminals that were illegals out. You let them go. They didn't have to pay bail. You let them go, and now they're gone. So I have no respect for anybody like that does that. All right. I'm a type of person, I try to give people a chances, because I do trust the law. All right. I've been behind the bars. All right. I used to be one of those guys that said, oh, fuck, the law is bad. It's bad. The system, there's two systems how it works. There's going to be places that are going to be good, and there's obviously going to be places like New York's. Those people need to be fired from their jobs right now. And that's my feeling.
Hey, I just came up with a new idea. I got to put some background music to it, and then Randy, you're gonna love this. I gotta find the right music though. Y'all gotta bear with me. See, y'all get it live and in living color here in the lab. Let me see if I can get it to play.
So, Randy, can I ask you? And listen, I'm not a Trump fan, and I'm not a Biden fan. Okay, but
I made it. Sorry, was on the phone.
Hold on, Mama.
So, can I ask you what can I ask you what policies that you did like that you want personally? And I'm not saying like of Joe Biden doing them, because he's not going to do them except this one. But what policies do you like that helped you out?
Policies. Can you explain to me what you mean by policy? You're talking about government policies, like a president
Like
doing a
when
policy?
Trump, okay, you like Trump. What policies of his that you liked that they put into law?
Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately for Trump, a lot of stuff that he did that made this nation a hell of a lot better than it was before, he didn't put into actual law to where it stays steadfast and can't be overturned. A lot of his stuff was done by, just a signature. I mean, okay, well, look at this way. Look at all the companies, the corporations who moved their business overseas because the Democrats were taxing the shit out of their businesses and they weren't making what they felt was a fair profit. So they went overseas because they were saying, hey, come over here. We'll give you all this kind of good stuff for free and we won't tax the shit out of you. So one of the things that Trump did was he reversed that. He said, to American business owners, come back to the United States. We're going to welcome you. We're going to do this, this, and this, and we're going to make you a very profitable company. And he did. In the process, they came back over. They opened up new businesses. They put multiple thousands of Americans back to work, and they brought in, a profit. The other thing he did was, I agree with Trump. We should get our soldiers out of the hell of nations across the world, bring them back to our country, bring them back to our borders, protect our nation, say, screw you guys. We spent all those years, all those billions of dollars, all those lives lost and injured protecting your asses, and you didn't pay your fair share. You didn't get back in and turn. So while he was in office, all of a sudden these nations realized, oh shit! If he removes his soldiers, we're left open to the Russians. So they start paying their fair share. What's the first thing? One of the first things that Biden did, he reversed that. He said, "Oh, Amendo, whatever. You don't have to worry about paying us. Don't worry about what Trump said. You go back to you're not paying us at all." And blah 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 blah. And they just start taxing the shit out of the companies. So the companies started shutting their businesses. They started going.
Time out. Go ahead, wind it down there, Randy. I'm gonna give you 5. Go ahead and count it down. You probably named too many damn policies that he undone already.
But he made it.
Hey, what's yours? What's
yours?
And then
wait a minute, I gotta introduce Mama. I gotta introduce Mama Mona. So I gotta introduce Mama Mona. I'm gonna let Randy land his plane though.
Okay. So the last thing I want to say is this: is that in the 4 years that Trump was in office, he made this country prosperous, powerful, and respected.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
Hi, Miss Mona.
Hello there, dear. Hello. I came in on a great topic because I'd like to answer that question.
Yeah.
What did Donald Trump do for me personally? Okay.
Oh shit.
All right. He took office on January 20th. On January 26th, milk was nearly $6 a gallon. On January 7th, milk dropped to $1.87 a gallon. He put money directly in my pocket. Cheese, the price of cheese was cut almost by 2/3 less than I was paying for it 7 days after he took office. Why? He signed the North American Treaty with the dairy farmers. And our price of milk went down. What else did he do? He gave us veterans the right to Veterans Choice, a card, just like a Medicare card. I can take it to any hospital or any doctor, and the only difference is the bill gets paid out of a different account. But it still gets paid, and I can choose my doctors. Secondly, and something he did that Biden did to me, he took office and he immediately appointed 300 veteran judges to fast track veteran complaints. And honey, it was fast tracking. I was at number 9 from having my hearing heard when Biden took office on January 20th, and on January 21st, he fired all those judges. And there hasn't been a veterans case heard since Biden took office. Now, what did he do for me? They owe me 6 years at $22,600 a month for the past 6 years that I'd have got. I was on 9 from the top.
All right, Mama Mona, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Big Bruce, we already know what Trump has done for me. He allowed me to start the Patriots Lab, and I appreciate it. And I look forward to further endeavors way past Donald J. Trump. But let me flip the script. What has Joe Biden done for you?
Let me tell you something. Joe Biden and Donald Trump both gave me a headache. But
No. We already know how you feel about Donald J. Trump. What?
Well, but Donald, listen, this isn't about Donald Trump, but I'll tell you. Listen, I'll tell you what it is. The prices and stuff of like Mona was saying, that I couldn't get. That actually destroyed me. All right, that hurt me, and it hurt family. You know, my parents that are older. It hurt other families around here too. But I'm speaking of me. Yes, it hurt me because when you work and you are basically working to get a check, and it goes basically to your rent, food that barely could get paid for, and a little bit of gas to get around.
That's what's happened under Biden.
So we will revert back to the question. And everybody, please understand, Big Bruce is my brother. He's just got a little more courage to stay with the Democratic Party than I did.
Oh, I like the and I love it.
For those
one
of
thing.
you hold on one second. Hold on one second. For those of you that have been following me from a day one, know I'm a lifetime Democrat. And when all this shit started and they just tried to destroy the guy that we used to love, I just couldn't do it morally. That was just where I stood, because we all fall short. We all do shit we shouldn't do. So I'm not going to pass judgment on Donald Trump like I wouldn't pass judgment on nobody, because I don't want nobody to judge me. But to evilly try to destroy somebody, that's you got to draw the line somewhere, in my opinion. But to get back to the actual and factual question of it, before we go ahead and pass this off to Mr. Randy, what has Joe Biden done for you? Big Bruce.
Yeah.
Now you a man. You can say he hasn't done shit. I know you pissed off, but if he's done something, what has he done?
Besides getting a $1,400 stimulus check, he really hasn't done nothing for me. So.
All right, and that's why I respect Big Bruce right there, because it's people like Big Bruce that is going to bring the Democratic Party back to where it needs to be. Because no matter how you like it or don't like it, this country it's all about competition. There's going to be two sides. Yes, we have to be under one melting pot. Yeah, we got to all be in this together. But there's nothing wrong with a little healthy competition. We have to have difference of views, difference of opinions. That's what molds and makes America great. not just one person's ideology, not just how one person believes this show should be run. No, sometimes we got to bite the bullet and do shit that we're uncomfortable with, because you know what? At the end of the day, it's not about us, but it makes sense for the country as a whole. So
all you got to do is get back to, you just got to, it's pretty simple, man. You've got to get back to where at one time and point where both sides could talk, and they weren't sitting here pushing all the garbage out to the media to make it even worse.
Honey,
okay?
It's called Marxism. It's called Marxism. That's the way the game is played.
Yeah, you're right, Mona. You're right, and it's shameful.
Well, we knew it. We fought it in World War I. We fought it in World War II. We fought it in Vietnam. We fought it in Korea. Now we're fighting it at home. Okay? Marxism and communism, Nazism, whatever you want to call it, but Marxism has a playbook. And if you'll go back through history and look at the playbook, well, it's kind of messing up communications, making things seem false. It's a whole pattern. And that's exactly what they're doing. And the thing about it is just like the Jews of the Holocaust, we're falling.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have, who do I have in here? I have Real Daily News, which I don't know why he even has that name. And I got Truth in the News, and I don't know why they have that name. But these are the YouTube people that we have the pleasure of joining us today, because they help the algorithm go. But we're going to go through some comments, and Big Bruce, they got your back, bruh. They got your back. Break it down. So the first one from Real Daily News is the American Rescue Plan in response to COVID. So they tried to help rescue something after they put it out there. Okay. I'm just trying to get that clear. The American Rescue Plan in response to COVID. I guess that could have been one of them. I'm not too sure. I know that ain't got shit to do with 10 million people coming across the border. I know that, right? Okay, let me see. What else is another good one we're gonna give to Mr. Randy here? Let me see, Mr. Randy. I got one for you. They got so many comments rolling up in here. They got so many
rescue plan.
Yeah. See, I even got Big Bruce laughing at that one. Big Bruce is like, what damn rescue plan? Okay. Let me see. Building semiconductors at home through the CHIPS Act, while closing down all of our pipelines and leaving us no longer energy independent. What the hell? What do you say about that, Randy? The semiconductors, I don't know what the hell the semiconductors through the CHIPS Act. This is low hanging fruit shit they going after. What's up, Randy?
If I understand what they mean by it, in the new Green Deal, which is nothing more than more green in the pockets of those who have the corporations and the politics behind them, because no one else is going to be making any green out of that new Green Deal, is that you have all these electric vehicles coming out, okay, and they all require microchips.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what country makes the microchips?
China.
Okay, so China is making these microchips for these electric cars.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the material for the batteries are not being produced here in the United States, where they can be watched and made sure they're using the new Clean Deal policies. But there are countries where they have thousands of little boys and girls barefooted for almost
out
making
in
a
lithium
video,
mine.
digging the shit out of the ground that they need to produce the batteries.
Hold on,
Okay?
hold on, pause 1 second. Truth 9 and Real Daily News, are y'all taking notes? Because while y'all are skimming on the surface, we going deep. So I hope y'all brought your shovels and your pen and paper. Go ahead, Randy.
So the boil it down is, would I want to first off spend the money, the outrageous money, if I had it, to buy an electric car whose microchip is produced in China, and Lord knows what itty bitty little,
8-year-old.
Well, not that, but itty bitty technological data communications being added to those microchips, saying that when we send you the signal from China, you're going to shut off and you're not going to restart. And just the fact that they're trying to find a place to charge up. Hell, there's videos of people parking their damn cars in driveways of houses that have these chargers to charge up their car, to find out that that's not their damn house. People are stealing the power. So
all right. See, I gotta cut Randy. Randy will bring up. See, that's why I love having people like Randy on here, because he'll give you more than enough. He'll give you. You ask him to give you an example, you better be ready. You better be ready.
I'm going to be honest, man. I'm good with. I was good with the CHIPS Act thing, here, making it. But I understand where you're coming from, Randy.
Thank you. Did you take that good news? Listen to somebody. Listen to Big Bruce, because you said Bruce Almighty in the beginning. So if he's Bruce Almighty, listen to him, because you're taking the good with the bad. But I got this comment that I got to give to Mama Mona. He reauthorized the Violence Against Women Act through 2027. Let me ask you a question real quick there, True. If he reauthorized the Violence Against Women
He
Act,
meaning who?
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
What do you call a transgender man beating the shit out of a woman in an MMA ring? What do you call a transgender smashing a volleyball into the skull of
a very mentally ill human being doing damage to someone else?
Reauthorizing violence against women. I don't see him signing no executive orders against that.
No.
Sounds like he's more like participating, authorizing the use of men beating up women. What you think, Mama Mona?
If I thought that Joe Biden understood any of what he was signing, I might have a complaint against him. But the man's got dementia. Okay, I see myself someday. Okay, I hope to God somebody takes me out before they let me show myself off like that. But the thing is that you got to read the underline. Just because it has some fancy ass dang name, okay, the Build Back Better bill, okay. Now, those words just are absolutely opposite of what they mean. So just because it has a title, okay, I ain't read that bill, so I can't give a honest answer as to what exactly it means, but I'll bet you it doesn't mean anything about what it says. And somebody down the line has stuck in something on it and is getting paid a whole lot of money for studying the sex life of a dart frog.
Huh?
Yeah.
Say that last part again.
Studying the sex life of a dart frog.
Okay. That's not what I heard. Okay. But, you cannot expect this administration to pass any laws restraining or bringing in the transgender crimes, because they are in the process of hiring so many transgenders, gays, lesbians, blah, 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 in the damn administration. So if they were going to go after the the transgender student in the junior high school walk around with a wing wang hanging out in front of the girls, then he has to do the same thing to the assholes who were having sex in the White House and doing a video of it. But they didn't. So how can we expect that administration to say to that kid, what you're doing is wrong? Get your ass and your ding-ding out of that girl's locker room and get back into the locker room where you belong. Otherwise, cut the damn thing off. Then you can walk around naked.
Yeah, we all are pretty passionate about that. It's in fact, the College of the Ozarks still has a lawsuit on the Joe Biden administration for trying to make them, a Christian school, have co-ed dorms and bathrooms, and that wasn't going to fly with the College of the Ozarks.
We got another one from Truth. I love Truth. Build Back Better. The Build Back Better plan invests in training initiatives to help the millions of American workers to create high quality jobs. So we have obviously, and I also I put the link up for YouTube for the individuals that maybe want to have an opportunity to voice their opinion rather than use the keypad.
True.
Build Back Better is just,
I want to answer that one. Okay.
Build Back Better plan is like putting end racism in the back of the end zone of the NFL.
Well,
it's, you know, you can't see that shit. They always tell you stuff that you can't see. So you never know. It all sounds good and everything, but put something back out there that Build Back Better the border.
Well, what this really Build Back Better is, okay, it's a taking away of, well, the thing is you all know you can use a game controller to put your plumbing in your house. And you all know how to lay bricks and concrete because you do it on a game board. They're trying to push technologies that keep people out of the meaningful jobs that run a country, like building and construction and heavy equipment operation and all those things. No, we don't want any of those things. We want jobs where you can sit and put microchips into a piece of cardboard and use a soldering gun and know which ones to do. That's more important, because you're going to all be driving electric cars and travel no more than 15 minutes from your house, because if you travel more than 15 minutes from your house, you raise your carbon footprint and they cut you off.
Well, I haven't seen anything built, and especially damn near not built back better since this person has been in office. Bridges are falling apart. I haven't, but I wanted to give Truth in News their opportunity to have their comments on here. Never met people who refuse to learn facts in my life. Do a search online, read. No, see, where you're getting it mixed up, Truth, I'm not denying that he didn't put these out there. I'm not denying. What she's talking about is the results of what he put out. See, you're saying, well, he did this. Yeah, you're right. He signed all that shit. They wrote it up and all that shit. Sound great. We're going to put out but what is the actual results of the policy?
He gave millions of dollars to a electric company to build electric buses. They built all the electric buses and nobody would buy them, and they went bankrupt. That's what his Build Back Better did.
Let me tell Truth something. There is nobody. Now I've been watching TV for a while. There is nobody on television other than the mainstream media that's talking about, well, shit, I like Joe Biden because he helped me with the Build Back Better program plan. No, ain't nobody saying that. You know what they're saying? My gas is too damn high. I can't find a place to live because the mortgages are crazy and the rent's too high. I can't do grocery shopping like I used to because prices are just ridiculous, skyrocketing. So what Build Back Better plan is he doing? I understand you're a troll and you got to do what you need to do, but I just had to say that because I give my trolls their just due respect. I don't want to leave you hanging out there, bro. I want to let you know I acknowledge your ignorance. Don't worry about it. But you are actual and factual. These are bills that he have implemented. But we get back to what is the final results. And the answer is ding, ding, Randy Rose.
Final results of the Build Back Better program. The only people who are benefiting from the Build Back program are the ones who own the companies who are getting the money to supposedly build these bridges, to supposedly reinforce our communications networks. The only Build Back Better program I can talk to you with evidence is a friend of mine. I cannot give out information. Working for a company who works for the Pentagon, who is working 3 shifts, 24/7, to build tanks, armored vehicles, armored trucks, all the weaponry that Ukraine needs, because as fast as they get them, they're losing them. So people in those areas of our country are the only ones benefiting from this Build Back Better program, because our farmers here in Lancaster County, I live in, I've said it before, Quakers, Amish, Mennonites, Dunkards, the plain people of our nation who still live the way they lived when they first came to this nation. The farmers are being forced to dump their milk because their dairy cows are producing too much milk, and they want to keep the price of the milk sky high. So they're being forced to dump the milk. They're being forced to plow over their fields because the fields are so plentiful with crops that they don't want the companies producing the product, because that's going to lower the price of the food on the shelves in the grocery stores. They are being forced to slaughter their livestock because we're trying to get people away from the farting cows and beef. And we're trying to keep people from eating good food and have them eating insects instead.
And you don't hear about the 125 food processing plants that blew up in the last 12 months either.
Yeah, correct. No, the Build Back program is simply a nice sounding, rolls off your tongue kind of situation that's doing absolutely nothing for anybody other than those who are in politics or in the manufacturing industry who are benefiting from the armored vehicles and tanks being built.
Well, hey, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, like, share, subscribe. I'm just getting that last video for the show ready. Like, share, subscribe, bring that bell so you can get them instant notifications. If you notice, I had to terminate someone. I can only tolerate stupidity to a certain extent. Okay. If you come with the actual and factual, I'll give you credit for that. But if there reaches a certain point where you just want to go sideways and just spew ignorance after making a point, I can't go with you down that rabbit hole. So with that, without further ado, we're going to get into our last video of the day. Break it down, say our goodbyes, and I will see you Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Let me see here. Here we go. All right.
Joining us now from House Oversight and House Judiciary, Congressman Andy Biggs. Let's turn to this. Congressman, it's good to have you on again. It's good to see you, sir. So you were with House impeachment managers today, taking testimony from the president's brother, James Biden. What did James Biden exactly say about President Joe Biden's involvement in the Biden family's lucrative business deals? What did you learn?
Well, Jim Biden said that Joe Biden never knew anything about CEFC. He never met with the chairman, Chairman Yee, who was the chairman of CEFC, and that basically Joe Biden never participated in any way whatsoever with these business transactions, these deals, which there is so much contradictory evidence to that it doesn't make sense. He also said that they never received money from China. He reiterated that, which is kind of bizarre, seeing this, that he also has to acknowledge that there was an agreement that he and Hunter would be paid $165,000 a month from their new business partner, which was CEFC, the chairman of CEFC, Chairman Yee, who Jim Biden himself described as a protege of CCP chairman and president of China, Xi Jinping. So there's a lot going on there to unpack, but it was very interesting. It has been very interesting to me.
So here we have the brother of Papa. We just gonna call him Unc. We're gonna call him Unc. Unc can't remember signing shit. Unc can't remember his brother ever being involved in any shit. Now, mind you, he isn't under oath, so he can continue to lie his ass off. But it just gives it a bad look. Not that he's lying, but he can't remember shit. And he's the younger brother. So, I said this years ago. These people, Wyckoff America, hello, these people are going to fall on the sword of, I can't remember shit. Now, it's not an insanity plea. The judge doesn't come out and plead insanity on the behalf of the criminal. And that's what they are. They're going to come out with Your Honor, he don't remember doing it. You know, we have to get focused off of they don't remember shit and get focused back onto you had your full mind when you did the shit. So now it's time to pay the piper. But I already knew they was gonna fall back on this. I don't know what the hell you talking about. I don't know. I don't remember signing nothing. He don't remember signing nothing. So either way, he's in a pickle. Well, damn, the pickle jar is about filled up. I don't know what the hell you call it. We almost on jar number 2 of pickles. Because either way, he's falling on the sword. Because when they do get his ass under oath, oh, you better believe they're gonna hold this contradictory against him. Well, that's not what you told us before. Oh, see, but he's gonna have a nice sweet plea deal in front of him, because see, he already know Big Bro going down. Y'all think these motherfuckers ain't gonna flip on each other? Come on, man. Ain't nobody really trying to go to jail. They gonna turn Papa ass over. Soon as Trump get back and line their ass up, we'll see who the first domino is to fall. Remember, I said it here in the lab. I don't know if it's gonna be Crackhead Hunter, because one thing I do know about a dysfunctional family, you can't trust them. You can love them with all your heart, but damn it, you better not trust them. What do you say, Mama Mona?
I'm like, you don't spend that much time with your family and not know anything about the business. Sorry. And I'm sure they were bragging and they were having a good time. I'm sure they had a few toasts to G, and all those things happened, and they happened as a family unit. So that's okay. We're going to just get out here and get out the vote. I have caucus, first caucus. Ain't ever caucused before, but Missouri's having a caucus this year. We caucus on March the 2nd. And I already got my foot in the door. So, but I don't know what this country's coming to, Ray. I know that there's not a cure for stupid, and it seems to be more prevalent than COVID ever thought of being.
That can't be Wyckoff America.
Yeah, it is. That's Wyckoff.
Is that Wyckoff? He said, go online and search Biden accomplishments.
Yeah, I've tried.
It's
Yeah, they
not
got
all,
all
it's
kinds
not
of
all
them.
bad.
Yeah, he got rid of the border wall.
Understand facts.
Yeah, they got rid of a whole bunch of things.
That's not Wyckoff. I've met Wyckoff. Mama Mona, we lived with Wyckoff for a short period of time. Wyckoff would never speak like that. Joe Biden, he knows Joe Biden ain't had shit, nothing good. See, when you know somebody and you had an opportunity to
You can go look at Biden's accomplishments, and for many things, the little things, not the big things that make a big difference, okay? But he has a few accomplishments, okay? He's the first president to fall down.
No, my nemesis, you're right. Wyckoff does have a icon. Yeah, he does have an icon he is verified.
Okay. Yeah.
If this is Wyckoff, where do we break bread together at? That'll answer that question. Go ahead, Mama.
Yeah, we don't trust. What he's just basically saying is go look up Biden's accomplishments and tell us what he's done for us. The list is not all that impressive. Okay. In fact, for America, most of it is depressing.
Well, now my nemesis got me all screwed up. The entire Burisma Biden money thing is gone. It was all a lie made up by an informant who got No, people, y'all are going sideways. This is the same informant that they have been paying over hundreds of thousands of dollars for 10 years. And all of a sudden, because he want to tell the truth on something they don't want him to say, he ain't their best friend no more. No, you can't forget about the past 10-year history of them being his main peoples. No, but see, this is what happens when I let YouTube in the chat. This is what happens. You get them from all over the place. They're very deceptive. But they like throwing me off my game, but it's not gonna happen. So I gotta take that post down. It's crazy. I don't. Well, thank God for the people that do see through all the bullshit. thank at the end of the day, thank God for them, because obviously this is why we're going through what we're going through, because there are people like this in the chat. And don't think it's just the chat. They really exist in real, actual.
They're really going to give us a nice hot shower, said the Jews.
Randy?
She didn't go there.
Hey, she went to. Hey.
Oh,
it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
I want to make my final comment. I gotta get going here.
All right.
I hear people, and I hear you say we have to give Papa a break because of his mindset. I call bullshit on that. My wife's mother, she had a brilliant mind. Okay, her husband of 50 odd years
No, I didn't
passed
say. I
away,
didn't say. I
right?
d't say give Papa a break. I
Oh,
didn't.
you
I
said
didn't
about
say that.
you said about because of his mind,
Yeah, yeah, right. At this
okay,
point, I feel
okay,
sorry for him, but he
okay,
has to be held
okay. So no, so
accountable
hold
for the
on.
shit he
Okay,
did.
so when he passed away, we started as a family taking notice to different things going on in her house. Okay, and I won't go into all the various things that we took notice to, but we knew something was going on with her mind. Okay,
Right.
just like the family of Biden had to see a couple years ago the initial signs of things going wrong. Okay.
Right.
And when she finally came out with full-fledged dementia and Alzheimer's, okay, she had to go into an assisted facility because she was no longer safe to be left alone, okay. And we had wanted to move in with her, but she was adamant that she didn't want us living with her. And unfortunately, because that part of her mind was still functional, we couldn't legally do that. So she
Right.
went into a home. Okay.
Right.
His mind, seeing how he is identical to what her mother's mind was. Okay, because she passed away after 5 years. To continue to give him a path of let's not blame him because of his dementia. The blame has to be placed on his wife and the immediate family surrounding him, and the government officials who are protecting him. He
Yeah.
is only there because he is the president of the United States. He is compromised mentally to where they tell him to sign something, he signs it. They tell him to
That's
say
why.
something, he says it.
That's why I say I feel sorry for him at this point.
It is time
But-
it is time for our Republicans to get their balls in their hands, walk into that room, take a vote, and get his ass out of there using the 25th Amendment if you have to. But you got to get him out of there.
And that's what they need to do. But see, they're not going to do it because there are certain Republicans that want him to be there. So
it's the China people that's working behind the scenes that wants to make sure he stays in order so that they can take over our country, continue to send in their fighting age army, and get them all set up in here, and then they'll blow the whistle.
That's why I feel sorry for Papa. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still want him to be, held accountable for what he's doing or what he's done. Because we got to get after the people that's abusing this old man right now.
But unfortunately, it's like that. It's like those lawyers said, and that's why I was very pleased to see CNN actually starting to talk about his dementia, is that they're saying he cannot be charged for the crime she committed a few years back, or even a year back, whatever, because of his mind.
No, Joe Biden needs to be charged with elderly abuse.
Yeah, she
He's
really
the
does.
one responsible.
She really does. But
yes,
either way, that family is going to pay. It's going to pay. I might have a sympathetic heart for an old man. I don't know. I might put it this way. I'm gonna ride and die with the person that was the victim. So whichever way the victim, and at the end of the day, we're really all victims. But at the end of the day, the targeted victim, I'm gonna ride or die with whatever they choose, because I'm gonna respect that decision, because I know that the family as a whole not has already paid, but they are going to dearly, severely pay in the
see now, Ray, you're making me disagree with you, because you know how I feel about that whole scenario, and that
About
is
what?
that they're going to get away with it. They're going to continue to get away with it, and
so Trump's just gonna let everything go. He's just gonna let it sleeping dogs lie.
Trump. I hate to say it, but I do not see a Trump celebration of the White House.
Wow.
I see them finding enough information to either prevent him from running, or they're going to take the man out because they got nothing.
So America. So okay. So even let's take Trump out of the equation then, because see, I was about to go somewhere else until you just said what you said. Even just so happenly that they take him out, just like Biden isn't the ones behind the string. He's just the face. At this point in time, out of everything that's happened, Trump is just a mere face right now. So it really don't matter if Trump is president or not. Will the fight to save America die? See, that's the real question. And if you're saying that they're going to remain in power, then you're basically succumb to the fact that America is about to be defeated. Because let's take it. America is hanging on a string and a thread right now. So you really think America is about to fall?
I do.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
I hate to say it, but I think the only thing that is preventing this nation from falling right now is the hopes and dreams that we're placing on President Donald J. Trump winning the November election and being sworn in. I hate to say
it. Like we're the most well-armed country in the world.
Well, and that's what I was about to. That's what I was about to get to Randy with, because he does the genealogy, and you see the flag that he's flying in back of him. So he's pretty much, I would think, in tune with how deeply instruction, how deep, I can't find the right words, but he should know. And I tell people all of this all the time because they like to put us in classifications. and it might be funny to some, but it's the actual and factual. The white man will never give up his freedom here in America as a whole body. As a whole body. You know that saying, you gotta pry my gun out of my dead cold hands. You're talking 380 million people that have tasted freedom. And to think that an establishment is going to take that away? No.
But see, you can't use that. You can't use that number because the entire population of this nation could care less how their independence, how their freedoms were won. All they know is that they have it and they're going to abuse it. And they don't give a shit.
That's a big difference.
Now, if you subtract away the citizens of our nation who know how and why we have our freedom to say what we say and do and live our lives, and we give our due diligence to the men and women in uniform who died.
And you're right, Randy, and you're right about that. But we can't. It's like you're in a marriage, and you take your wife or your husband for granted. You don't come home for dinner after they cook. You just everything until you see the divorce papers on the counter one day, and reality sets in. They're gonna do that to her. They're gonna do that to America. They're gonna take her for granted. They're going to abuse her. But one thing they aren't going to do as an American people is give up their freedom, because at the end of the day, their freedom is what gives them the right to do the things that they do.
But like I said, was saying, it boils down to, and I never thought in my 65 years of living that I would see this day and talk the way I talk. But we, the citizens, the true citizens of our nation right now, are pinning our hopes and dreams on President Donald J. Trump winning the 2024 election and actually walking in and being sworn in as president. I don't think he's going to make it that far. Okay. And what's going to happen is one of two things, is that those who pin their hopes and dreams on him are going to either take up arms and go and fight the good fight and hopefully win, or we're going to sit on our asses like we have now for all these years with this asshole in the White House saying, you know, it's all in God's hands. God knows what's going on. Let's pray to God. He's going to change things around. And I got to tell you, you know, for all the things I'm seeing that's happening in our world, not to mention to start with the murder of all these innocent babies and so forth, what the hell is God waiting for?
Well, see,
So-
and I'm the type
God
of
helps
person,
them that help themselves.
I'm the type
Yes,
of person
exactly.
I can go with. Now I can go there with you. I can go there with you on that, because now you're talking about something that I can visualize and see happening. America at a certain point really having to do the unthinkable and really have to take their country back. But to the first point of America ceasing to exist, that is where I differ. I'm not saying what your latter point isn't a possibility. The only thing I'm trying to say, what isn't a possibility, is America not being America.
Well, the thing is that America's going to be a little bit smaller. Right now, it's only going to be 26 states in size. Okay.
Well, no, not really.
Thank you, Mama. Thank
no,
you.
not really. Because even the dumb ones out there, even the dumb ones out there got to get spanked on the behind. Like a little baby sometimes. You tell them don't touch it. You tell them don't touch it. Tell them don't touch it. And they go and touch it. And sometimes it's what it takes.
If we got 26 states ready to leave the union. Okay. That's what it takes.
I understand what you're saying, Mama Mona, but I've heard the cries of the people in Chicago. I've heard the cries of the people in Baltimore. I don't care what their label is. Let's get off the labels. I don't care they're a blue state. The people is what I care about. The people is what I go off of. Not if it's a blue state or a red state. Because guess what? People in the red state can turn a cold heart just as quick and want to be just as evil and devilish. So these people in these blue states are crying out. But see, in a way, at first I didn't feel sorry for them, because they encouraged it, they egged it on, they asked for it. But sometimes we got to be careful what we ask for. But now I see the real sincerity, because they're hurting. See, before it was all about having the pom-poms and wanting to be part of something. But see, now they're hurting. And now you see the real raw emotion. Now you see where their hearts really are. Because the beginning shit was bullshit. See, everybody like talk bullshit. And nobody talk bullshit, in my opinion, better than black folk. That's why they got Letitia James and my girl Fannie attacking Trump in New York and in Georgia. You couldn't get two white women to go after him like that and make him look like he looked. They're using these two black women's charisma as a tool to emotionally get these people on their side. Because, I mean, just look at me. We got a way about us. We do. So, I mean, you know, Letitia Jackson, what she said the other day? Oh, I love walking by Trump Tower every day. You know that some people like women of Hollywood, you know, Hollywood housewives and shit, them reality shows. So, hey, it's all marketing, and they pick two. I mean, what I call them last night on my show, ratchet. That's what they are. They ratchet. You got one that's blatantly lying. She's sleeping around with everybody. And then you got another one that all of a sudden thinks she got the mind of a genius, and she became a realtor expert, and she want to tell people without any victims who want to commit crimes and shit. So they ratchet. Yeah, they are.
You know, I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to end it here. You know, we have to pin our hopes and dreams on Trump and also on the folks of the South. You mentioned earlier about the flag behind me. I can fly that flag proudly because I'm what they refer to as a copperhead. I was born in a northern state, raised by northern values, but I have love for the South, and I support the South. And if I have to, I'll fight for the South. But the South has, with built into it, different organizations, which I've mentioned before, and got shot down by hosts from another show. But it boils down to, I know what the hell I'm saying. And you have one group who are politically trying to change the face of our nation by creating a legal split of the states to create a North and a South, country. And they're trying to get the governors on board, which they have several on board who are willing, if they get the votes and the people behind them, to actually go in and vote for a secession. So you have them. You have another group of people who are trying to save and preserve the Southern heritage. In some states, they've been successful in preventing statues from being destroyed. And unfortunately, in other states, cities, they have not been that successful. Then you have another branch of those in the South who are there in case of a natural or unnatural catastrophe where they need to respond with food, water, clothing, medicine, and shelter. Right. Then you have the other arm, which is the militia arm of it. Individuals indicated that these are just, little boys out there playing with their guns and don't know what it means to be in the military or fight. It doesn't matter. Our forefathers weren't trained soldiers either. They got their weapons the best they could, and they went out and they fought and they won against the largest, most powerful nation at that time. And these people don't want to start a war, but they want to know that, they are here, they are prepared to defend the southern states. And if the North comes after them, the Democrats come after them for their weapons or whatever, they're willing to fight and die for it. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I don't see any other way out of this.
See, I don't like saying the North and the South because I got peeps. I'm from the North. So when I say North and the South, I'm not, and I know where they're at mentally with the whole situation, and not them, just neighborhoods, not just neighborhoods, cities. So I can't throw in the basket of the North because the North might have its own inner battles. So and I hope people would think about that when we bring up that phrase, the North against the South, because it's not like it was back then in that aspect. Are there still, as you can see, liberal cities in the North that want to act stupid? Yes,
it's the
that is actual and factual. But we have to remember, hold on, Mama Mona, we have to remember, like I was saying, it's a different day and a different time. Those people that live in the North, whether we differ in opinions because we're human and that's how God made us, at the end of the day, they're still Americans. I used to be one of them. I'm fortunate enough to see the light and be willing to educate myself and be open-minded and be critical, be a critical thinker and be willing to lose some stuff. So at the end of the day, they're still Americans. So I just wanted to make that point when you start putting it against North and the South, because you can offend some people that live in the North that aren't of that mindset of the elite that have these crazy policies that's going over these northern states right now. Because
okay,
like I said,
all right, you have constitutionalists, people who believe in the what founding fathers set down on to pen to paper, and you have those who don't. That's what it really boils down to. You either believe in the rule of law or you don't. You know, it's a case of everybody's out there screaming, "Oh, we want democracy. We want democracy." And I don't want democracy. I wish democracy will die. I hope it will die with this election coming up. I would like to have a republic where we the people rule. We are not ruled over. Okay? Under any democracy, you elect people to rule over you. The uniqueness of America is it was built as a republic where the people rule, not the elected employees.
Hold on one second, Mama Mona. YouTube, I appreciate y'all joining the show, but I'm on like block number 20 right now. So I must reiterate, I don't have a problem having a block party. So if you don't keep your comments respectful, obviously you're here for a reason. So if you don't keep your comments respectful, guess what? You will no longer be able to indulge in the conversation.
What was the comment?
Huh?
What was the comment?
Oh, too late. I took it down. And I wouldn't read it on here anyway. So it's it's non-existent. But as long as we got people, as long as we got patriots like Curry Mussins in the building and Chris Freestone in the building. Let's see what this what we got. The new state and provinces of Diagolon 6 Sema
Sounds like a video game.
Propatra. Yeah, I put that up because I needed some help with that one there, Randy. I needed some help. I wasn't too sure where that one was going. But we had a great show today. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell. If you haven't had a chance to watch the live broadcast, go ahead and click through. I appreciate the minutes that y'all do put in watching these things. Watch time.
Love you all.
Great. Any last words, Mr. Randy, before we go ahead and land this plane?
No, just that I do genealogy. Most recently I've been getting questions that are not genealogy related, but they're searching for my help. One, he's searching for his brother from 50 years ago that was adopted. There are ways I can use my services to try and find that brother. There's another person who's reaching out to me to try and search for a particular photo of a Confederate soldier, so I can make use of my services trying to do as well. So I do other things besides the history of the family, which I have 4 openings now. So I'm able to take on 4 new folks. My rates are extremely low. I've also started a new broadcast called On the Road to Dixie. It is partially sponsored by one of the individuals who belongs to a group from the South. It is a broadcast that is strictly about the South. It is their lifestyle, how they lived, the battles they fought, the food they eat. I mean, it's going to be all about the Southern heritage, non-political. Okay, it's very. This sponsor made it very clear: no politics. It's only going to be about the South and the people of the South. So I'm staying busy doing that kind of stuff now.
Mama Mona.
Yeah, well, since I do need to ask you something, I suffer from a very, very rare heretic disease called congenital insensitivity to pain. I am aware that there are 20 known cases in the world. And it would be interesting to find out where that came from.
It's funny you say. It's interesting to say that. I had a client who recently left. He found all that he needed to find out about his family, but he was being seen by a doctor for a medical condition, which I won't talk about here, but a specific, very unique medical condition. In my research of his family, his 4th great grandfather someone placed an image on his profile on Ancestry of a brain scan. Okay. And usually when people put weird stuff like that on a profile, it's because it has something to do with that person. So when I look further into it, his fourth great grandfather suffered from a brain disease very similar to what he himself was now experiencing. There was a name attached to this brain illness, which I was able to provide to him to share with the doctors. Not saying that I can find your situation, but you never know because people talk about it. It's in the newspapers. I would love to try and help you find where who, if there's someone else within your family tree that also suffered from it, because as we know, DNA is DNA, and somewhere along the line, someone else had what you're now experiencing.
I have reasons to believe that my father, mother, and brother all had it, but it was never diagnosed. That wasn't diagnosed for me for 15 years ago, I guess, when I finally got a proper diagnosis. But that's interesting. And everybody on the chat and everything, y'all, I love you. And thank you all for the birthday wishes. I got so many birthday wishes, I can't count them. I lost count at about 200. So I know I'm massively loved out there. And I love you all just the same. And as Big D and Hippie Mama like to say, there ain't a dang thing you can do about it. So, hugs.
That's right.
I want to see you in November.
Okay, real quick. A question has been asked to me twice. Why do I allow someone to be on my show representing a Confederate flag behind them?
Ooh.
And I have a simple question. I have a simple answer for that. Because Lord willing, he allows me to live long enough. I don't want to ever see a day where I can no longer fly my stars and stripes and not be considered racist, a terrorist, an insurrectionist.
I have a
we
real
have to, we have to understand everyone. See, it's so easy to move away from the meaning of the word freedom. We all have a right to believe in what we believe.
Wait a second. I got something here, Ray.
Yeah.
I walked into we had a discussion about that particular design here in Branson. There, it went to city council meeting, and as I walked in with about 6 different flags that I have on my hat. Okay. And I asked the city council, would you please tell me what you see? And of course, they told me and what all of those little flags supposedly meant. And I said, no, damn it. What you see is a piece of material on a stick. The meaning comes from your own mind and your own mind only. So if you see the stars and bars as something bad, that's because you have a bad thought, not because that piece of material has any kind of other meaning than that which you give it.
Very good. Very good.
The House of Bad Influence. I appreciate that, Chris Freestone, and
I'm going to address that real quickly, and I do mean real quickly, and I got to bounce. This is another time, another day where someone mentioned about the flag in my background here. I fly it because I support the South. I support what the Southern people attempted to do, and that was to create an independent nation free of the North because of how they were being treated by the Northern government, much like how the colonials fought against the English. Now, the American flag, okay, as we have it, the national federal flag, there are those in this country who spit on it. They use it to wipe their butts. They burn it. They think this is racist. They cry when they see it. They curl up into a little ball when they see it. So much can be said about the American flag as you can the Confederate battle flag, which is what I have behind me. That's a battle flag. That flag goes into combat with the soldiers, okay? And it's the same as the American flag. When soldiers saw that American flag, they knew there was hope still to stay into the fight. There is nothing racist about that flag. It does not represent slavery in any sense of the matter. If you want to look at slavery, look at what the Biden administration is doing right now with the 80,000 plus missing children, the millions of women and children coming across our border being sold straight into sex slavery.
And our J6ers.
Hey, let me go ahead and say this, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Can you imagine? Because at the end of the day, the Confederate flag, the American flag, and every other flag that we have that is part of American history will be going up against that sun flag and that the flag with the green and the whatever colors they got their flags. So them flags are going to be united. And you got to remember, when you're in a foxhole, last thing you and your man talking about is what religion you are, what's your political status. See, that's why I do what I do, and I stay positive and stay motivated, because it's a game. It's all a game. It's a sad game. It's a long game, but we're in it for the long haul as Americans.
Yep. And I gotta go.
Everybody tuning in. Y'all already know.
Hey, Mama, if you're interested, I tell you what, I'll work out a really sweet deal and do something for free for you. I'm kind of curious about that illness you're talking about. Why don't we talk? You message me later. I'll tell you what I need to create your ancestral tree.
Message you how?
Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
Are we on Facebook together?
Yes, y'all are.
Yep.
You can go look her up. I'll link y'all up soon.
Okay.
I'll link y'all up soon as we get off the air. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. We're over 2 hours. We went in from morning coffee to afternoon Pepsi. Appreciate it. Until the next time, in between time.
All right.
We are out.
Take it easy. See ya.